Hi, Kitchen Kings and Queens. We're going to make potato salad. And this potato salad is not like anything I've ever seen. Maybe you've seen it, but it's, I think, going to be a pretty unique potato salad. So, what I'm going to do that's a little different is I'm going to roast the potatoes. And I'm going to roast them with quite a bit of seasoning. And I think that that's going to really make this potato salad something special. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm cutting up the potatoes. These are yellow or golden potatoes. And I'm going to roast them. I'm going to toss them first in some fat. Okay, and in this case, I'm using bacon fat. So I think it's going to give it a really nice taste and really deep, rich flavor. So they're going to roast for like probably an hour till they get really soft. And then they're going to be turned into the potato salad. Okay. So the recipe for the actual potato salad is going to be eggs, onion. You could put celery in it if you want. I don't have any celery, but if I had it, I would make sure that it got nice and finely diced. Okay, because I think one of the good things about a potato salad is the contrast to like the soft potatoes and the crunchy vegetables. But celery can sometimes have too much crunch. It could be kind of a too intense of a crunch. So I like to mince my celery really fine when I use it for potato salad. So that's just my trick. Okay. You could add other things too. You could add like peppers. I often add like red or green peppers. Roasted peppers would be really good. Any of those would be really good. Okay. So these are just some of my potato salad ideas. Um, the reason why I'm doing it this way or trying it this way is because I like potato salad. I like simple potato salad. In fact, one of the most delicious simple potato salads I ever had was from Martha Stewart, the one that her aunt and uncle had at their deli, and that potato salad was is very, very, very simple. Um, it some people may even think it's bland, but it's it's not. It's just it's a very, very simple, very creamy potato salad, and it relies heavily on the sour cream to give it a lot of its flavor. Okay, so that and it like you toss it back and forth, so it's just very lightly dressed. It's a good compliment when you want it as like an accompaniment, but not to take over the 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 meal. This one is probably going to be pretty intense in terms of flavor, so this one is going to be a little bit different than that Martha Stewart one. But the Martha Stewart one is really good. When I made it for my last barbecue on last 4th of July barbecue, people went crazy over it. And like I said, it's a very simple potato salad, but it's delicious. Okay, so I have over here, I have my bacon grease, and I have it just kind of sitting in here. I'm actually going to take out, I think this is enough. And then I'm going to put the potatoes in. I'm going to get a spoon here. And you just want to make sure they're all coated in that bacon grease, because that's going to make sure that all of the spices stick to it. And again, this is why I save that. Whenever I cook bacon, I save the grease, just because it adds a really nice, it's a really nice intense bacon flavor to a dish. I really wish I had some bacon. I would add that to this potato salad. Okay, so you can see they're all glistening, which is what we're looking for. Now we're going to add the seasonings. Okay, so I'm going to start with my Pepper Palace Chop House blend. I'm going to add a little accent. Okay, this is MSG. It just brings out the flavor. I'm going to add some Hatch chili powder. Let's see what else we got here. We'll add some onion powder. We will add some garlic powder, of course. I'm going to add some chives. I'm going to add some of my shallot powder here. Let's see what else we want to add. Maybe some Hungarian hot paprika. I'm going to add a little of that. So as you can see, the flavors that I'm adding here are, you know, some pretty intense stuff. I'm going to add this barbecue blend. I think that'll be a nice mixture here. And you know what, let me put on the okay, so there's our potatoes, and you can add whatever seasonings you want. If you wanted to add more herbaceous things, tarragon would be really good. In fact, I have some tarragon, but I just don't think it would mix well with these flavors. But if you wanted to do herbs, you could do like lemon and tarragon and rosemary and things like that. Whatever herbs you like, you can put on this. Okay? We just want to make sure we get it all well distributed. I want to make sure that those herbs get in a single layer. I think I might actually add a little more. That was a pretty bad idea to use those gloves because they kind of soaked up all the seasoning. Okay, so we'll just put a little bit more of some of the seasonings on there. And as these bake, we'll toss them. So they'll get kind of mixed up and all that good stuff. We just want to make sure that everything gets a coating of seasoning. All right, so we'll put this in the oven and then we'll come back in about an hour. Okay, Kitchen Kings and Queens, we're back and we are finishing up our potato salad. Okay, so I just was moving around some sour cream or cottage or cream cheese here in a bowl. So I'm going to just add that to my mixing bowl here. And that's about a half a cup of cream cheese. This is the ideal mixture for any sort of these salads, anything creamy. So it's a half a cup of cream cheese, a half a cup of sour cream, and a half a cup of mayonnaise. Okay, so I'm going to use my Wonder Cup again. Actually, that Wonder Cup is holding up the structure of that cabinet. So I'm just going to use the measuring cup here. Okay. So that's a half a cup of sour cream. Okay. And then we're going to do the same with the mayonnaise. Okay, so put that aside. And I'm breaking out the Hellmann's here. There used to be the commercial for Hellmann's when I was a kid. The slogan was "Bring out the Hellmann's and bring out the best." So I'm bringing out the best here. Okay. And then we're gonna add in our other items. So let me just get this combined here. Make sure it's all well combined. And then I'm going to add the onions. And it's about a cup of diced onions here. Now, that is a lot of onions for some people. You don't like onions? Do a half a cup, okay? Or leave it out. Or do green onions, which are a little more mild. However you want to do it. Okay, I'm going to add in some chives here, just for a little color. And then put my onion off to the side here. I'm going to add in my eggs. Okay, so I have 4 hard-boiled eggs. And I'm just going to kind of roughly chop them up and add them in. And this just kind of gives the eggs kind of blend into the salad. They just kind of add a little flavor, a little color with the yellow, but even that just kind of blends in. So, and they get broken up, so you can just add them, omit them, whatever your feelings are on eggs in potato salad. I think they add a really nice layer, and my mom always put them in there. So for me, they're a must. Okay, and then we have our potatoes, of course. So these came out really good. They have a really nice flavor. They have a really nice texture. They're soft, but they still have their texture. There's all this seasoning on there. So that's going to be quite delicious, I think. And this, I mean, I'm making my regular potato salad recipe. My family, well, like I said, I would have added celery, which is traditional to our recipe, but I did not have it, and I was not going out to the store just for celery. And I'm running really cutting it short here with party planning. So I really have to use my time wisely. Okay. So now we're just going to fold this all together and then put it in the refrigerator. And then that's just going to set and settle and just become better and better. That's good. It's funny. I was looking, I just got a new cookbook, couple cookbooks. There's this series that I love. They're called Gooseberry Patch, and they're all these kind of like crowdsourced is what you would call it now, but they're just different recipes that people would submit, and then they would test them, and if they were really good, they would make the cut into these cookbooks. And this cookbook had a recipe for potato chowder, and they used fried potatoes, like home fries. And I thought, wow, that's a really good idea. And then I realized that this recipe is pretty much that. So, and I can't give credit to the book for inspiring it, because I actually saw it after I already had the idea and started this. So, sometimes good ideas are just good ideas. Okay. So this smells wonderful. It looks wonderful. I am very excited for this. And I'm going to give it a try. So let's get a fork here. I'm going to try and get a little bit of everything. Oh my God. That came out better than I ever could have imagined. That is some tasty potato salad. It's spicy, it's flavorful. I don't even think it needs salt. Maybe a little bit of salt. I'm gonna just put a little bit in there. But really not much. Oh my gosh. That is delicious. I mean, you don't go into a recipe making something thinking it's not going to be delicious. But man, this is exceeding my expectations. So this recipe is definitely a winner. If you are bored by bland potato salad, try this baby because this is tasty. Okay? Have a good, happy Sunday. Bye for now, Kitchen Kings and Queens.